Hey there, everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Here we are with game two of our Nolan Ryan 5-game replay, and we are comparing, contrasting what he did in actuality and how he's going to perform here with Strat-O-Matic. In the second game that he pitched, April 9th, 1974, he pitched one inning and walked five. So his actual walk per game was, I think, 5.5, almost 6 in the first game that we played, and you can watch that. He walked 7. Let's see, he's going to go longer than he did. He's got to be able to go longer than that. I mean, that's highly unusual for him to get pulled after one inning. But the first game that he pitched in 1974, he walked 10. The second game, in the first inning, he walked 5. So I guess the manager at the time, this is 74. Can't remember exactly who it was. Cut out. Look it up. He actually, I have it up here somewhere. Hold on a second. No, I'm not going to do any of that right now. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I know Billy Martin came in, I believe, 74, right? In the first part of that. Oh, man, I can't remember. Anyway, so let's do it. Let's do it. It's going to be the lineups are going to be for this game. Let me grab it where it's easy to read here for me. It's going to be the Angels are at home, right? The Angels are at home. So Texas is going to be Dave Nelson, Toby Harrah, Alex Johnson. Had to make a card for him. Jeff Burrows in right field. Tom Grieve, the DH. Mike Hargrove, the first baseman. Jim Fregosi at third base. Joe Levito in center field, and Dick Billings, the catcher. I had to make a card for him. He only played, I think, one game. For the Angels, it's going to be Mickey Rivers in center, Denny Doyle at second, Bobby Valentine, left fielder, Frank Robinson, the DH, Mike Epstein, the first baseman. Had to make a card for him. Bob Oliver, the third baseman, Leroy Stanton, the right fielder, Ellie Rodriguez, the catcher, and Dave Chalk, the pitcher. Here goes Nolan Ryan versus Dave Nelson, the second baseman for the Texas Rangers. Let's do it. Play ball. All right. So that is going to be a 2 and a 7, and that's popped up. Middle infield, shortstop, second baseman come together, and it's the shortstop Chalk who makes the play. So one away. Next up is Toby Harrah. He bats righty. So if it lands on Nolan Ryan's card, it will be on this side. And it is. It's a 6 and a 4 and a 6 and a 4, and that's an end home run, 1-7. We rolled a 7, and he is an N, and that is way back into the left field seat. So it's 1-0. Rangers on a Toby Harrah solo shot. These are the advanced cards. These are out of production. You're not going to be able to get this set unless you pay through the wazoo. Alex Johnson. So I had to create his card. I used a 280 average with a poor power, poor walk frequency, and strikeout frequency average. So that's close enough. And here goes. Here's a pitch. Nolan Ryan to the, should be a righty, right? He is a righty. That's correct. I didn't put it on there. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But he is a righty-handed batter. And it's going to be a 2 and an 8, and that's going to be bouncer up the middle, and Chalk gets there, throws on the run for the second out. So 2 away. And here is Jeff Burrows. And that is a 1 and a 7, and that's a drive in the gap, and that's cut off by the center fielder Rivers, who got to that quickly and holds Burrows to a single. Good play by Mick the Quick Rivers. And here's Tom Grieve. Tom Grieve, right-handed hitter, DH. And here's a pitch from Ryan. And that is a 6 against a righty and a 4, and that's an end home run. But this time it's going to be a deep fly to left field. Backing up to the track is Valentine, and he brings it home. Keeps it in the park. So 1 run on 2 hits, and the Rangers lead at 1-0. Ryan, his first game was a 9-0 shutout. It was against the Chicago White Sox. And here comes Jim Bibby. Bibby is the pitcher for the Texas Rangers today. And it'll be Mickey Rivers leading it off against Jim Bibby, the right-hander. And here goes Mick the Quick. And that's a 1. I should be there. A 1, and a 2, and that's a fly to right. Right there is Leroy. Right there is Jeff Burrows. Makes the catch. F9, 1 away. A lefty now, and that is a 6 and a 4, and that'll be bounced to the second baseman with a 9. Second baseman, I didn't do any numbers here, but the second, I can start doing them now. Hargrove is the first baseman. He's got a 2. Fregosi is the third baseman with a 4. And let's get Dave Nelson is a 4. So a 9 is the second baseman on a 4, and that is a fielder's choice. Nobody's on there, so 2 down. So Denny Doyle grounds out to the second baseman, Dave Nelson. And here's Bibby versus, what just happened? Versus Bobby Valentine. Here's a pitch. And that is a 1 and a 10. And that is a bouncer to short. Charging hard is Hara, and he makes the play. 3 up and 3 down for Jim Bibby. Top of the second. Here comes Ryan. Ryan gave up a home run and a single. Still no walks. It's a pitch to Hargrove. It's a 2. He's a lefty, so it'll be on this. Now it's on the batter card. A 2 and a 5, and that's bounced to second base. Fielded cleanly by Doyle. 1 away. I don't know. Struggle here with the cards. Jim Fregosi's next. And that is a 1 and that's a 12. 1, 12, and tap it right back to Ryan. He fields his position. 2 away. And here's switch hitter Levito. So he's a lefty against Ryan. And a 5, it struck him out. It's the first K for Ryan in this game. No runs, no hits. 3 up and 3 down. So easy inning for the Ryan Express. Jim Bibby against Frank Robinson. He's a teamless player card, and I got his card through an associate who was able to get me the card so I can play this 5-game series with my 1974 deck. And Frank Robinson is a righty, so it's going to be a 6 and a 4 and a strikeout. So Robinson swings and misses at a curveball from Bibby for the first out. Here's Mike Epstein. He had hit a couple of home runs. And that's going to be a 6 against the lefty, a 6 and an 8, and that struck him out. Back-to-back Ks for Jim Bibby. And Bob Oliver with a 1 and a 7, and that's line base hit center field. So he rips one to center. Bob Oliver, who had 4 hits in yesterday's game. So he's in fuego, as they say. And here's Leroy Stanton, pitch from Bibby. And that is a 3 and an 8, and that's going to be line base hit to left. And runner will hold. I'm fairly conservative when it comes to that. He can still score from second base on a hit, hopefully. Here's Ellie Rodriguez with 2 outs and 2 on. Jim Bibby looks in to Dick Billings, and here's the pitch. It is a 3 and a 5, and that's going to be bounced to shortstop, and he flips to the second baseman covering, and that retires the side. 6-4, fielder's choice. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. And here comes the top of the third with the bottom of the order. Dick Billings leading off, and then will be Nelson and Hara, the top of the order, against Nolan Ryan. So here's Billings. They created a card for him. Not a very good hitter. Just like a 200 hitter. All right, that's going to be a 2 and a 9. It should be a strikeout, and it is. Strikeout number 2 for Ryan. 1 down. Blows a fastball by Billings, who swings and misses. 1 and 9. 1-9, and that's back-to-back Ks, so he struck out the last 3 batters. Dave Nelson chases a high fastball. And here's Toby Hara. And that's a 3 with a 7, and that's going to be a line drive and caught by the shortstop. Great catch by shortstop Dave Chalk. No runs, no hits, a couple of strikeouts. Got a good game going here. Strat-O-Matic advanced. Fun little game. Plays fairly easily. Every card is unique. I like that about it. It's one of my favorite aspects about this game. I like the fact that I never know what it's going to be. I know my son, when I play my son, he kind of looks at the card and says, oh, okay, I want it to be in column 4 or column 5. I don't do that. I just kind of like to be surprised. All right, Jim Bibby versus Dave Chalk. And that's a 5. He's a righty, so it's a 5 and a 6, and that's going to be a fly ball. Center field racing in is Levito, and he gets there. 1 away. Next is Mick the Quick. We're in the third inning, 1-0 Texas. Here's the pitch to Mick the Quick. That's a 5. He's a lefty, and a 10, and that's a catcher X with a 6. The catcher, we didn't say what Billings. Yeah, Billings was a 4 catcher, and a 4 catcher rolling a 6. That's going to be a out on a dribbler. So it's a 2 ground ball 2-3. So a little number in front of the plate, and Billings jumps out, grabs it, fires to first. And then, they just get Rivers by half a step. He was flying down that line. Make the quick and really turn on the Jets when he needs to. Here is Denny Doyle with 2 out, nobody on. And that is a 5. He is a lefty, a 5 and a 3. And that's bounced right back to Bibby, who picks it up and over to first. And that retires the side. So super easy inning. 3 up, 3 down for Jim Bibby. I remember him with the Cleveland Indians. Right here he's with the Texas Rangers. Here comes Nolan Ryan, top of the 4th. 1-0 Rangers against Ryan. Here's Alex Johnson. Let's see what Alex Johnson does. That's a 3 and a 9, and that is bounce to third. And throws on target. 1 away. Jeff Burrows. And he's a righty, so that's a 4 and a 10, and it'll be a bouncer to second base. Second baseman, we said, was Denny Doyle. And Doyle is a 2 second baseman, so he's a fairly adept second baseman with a 2 with a 6. A 2 with a 6, and that is a ball that he handles cleanly and throws him out. So 2 out, 2 ground outs. And here's Tom Green, who flied out to left. And that is a 4 and a 7, and that's a strikeout. Number 4 for Ryan. 3 up and 3 down. And once again, Nolan Ryan, dominant so far. He's only allowed 1 run, 2 hits. So we need to get the California offense going a little bit. And here's their third place batter, Bobby Valentine. He was a Mets manager, I believe. All right, that's going to be 6 off the pitcher. He's a righty, a 6 and an 8, and that's going to be a strikeout. Curveball gets Valentine. And next is Frank Robinson with a 2 and a 5, and back-to-back Ks. He fans them. And here's Mike Epstein. And that is a 2 and a 7 will be line base hit up the the middle, and nobody gets there. So Epstein with a 2-out single. And here comes Bob Oliver's got a little power. Pitch from Bibby. And that is a 5. He's a righty, a 5 and a 5. And that's going to be a deep fly ball to center. On the run is center fielder Lovito. And he makes a fine running catch. No runs. 1 hit, 1 left. Top of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th. Ryan. Hargrove bounced out to second base. Ryan winds and deals. That is a 3 and a 9, and that's ball 4. First walk allowed by Nolan Ryan. Next up is Fregosi. And that's a 1 and a 5. And that's going to be a bouncer to third. He goes to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. 5, 4, 3. Round the horn. Double play. Great play started by the third baseman, Bill Melton. Here is Lovito now with 2 out, nobody on. And he's a switch hitter, so he'll be batting lefty, a 6 and an 8. And that's ball 4. Second walk allowed in this inning. So he's losing the plate a little bit here, Ryan is. And Dick Billings now. Not much of a hitting threat. But he is, Billings, I believe, is a righty. Let's double check that. Let me see, Billings. Dick Billings, there it is. Dick Billings is a righty. So right-handed batter. All right, and that's a 4, so he's a righty. And a 7 is a strikeout to end the inning. And that is strikeout number 5 for Ryan. 1-0 going to the bottom of the 5th, so after 4.5. Only 1 run so far on the solo home run by Toby Harrah in the first inning. Jim Bibby will be facing the bottom of the order. Stanton, Ellie Rodriguez, and Dave Chalk. This game was played April 9th, 1974. Where were you? What were you doing? Were you even born yet? Probably. You're watching this channel. All right, that's going to be a 3. A 3 and a 4 is going to be a strikeout. Blows a fastball by Lee Stanton, who flails at it. And here is Jim Bibby against Ellie Rodriguez. And that is a 5 against the righty. A 5 and a 7 struck him out. So back-to-back Ks, and now he's got a ton. Now he's got 6 Ks, which is not bad for Bibby. I don't remember him as a big strikeout guy. Here's Dave Chalk, who flied out to center. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 5th. The Angels only managed 3 hits so far in this game. There's a pitch from Bibby, and it is a 5. He's a righty again, and a 7, and that's a strikeout, so he strikes out the side. Big inning for Jim Bibby. All right, Nolan Ryan. Nice thing about playing games this area, you're going to get a lot of pitchers that can go deep into games. So top of the order, Dave Nelson. And it's a 2 and an 8, a 2 and an 8, and that's lined and caught by Epstein. So Nelson rips it the opposite way, but they had Mike the Super G Epstein positioned perfectly. Here's Toby Harrah, who homered. That is a 5 against the righty, a 5 and an 8. Struck him out, blows a fastball by him. And that is number 6 for Ryan. And now it's Alex Johnson, who's 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. He's we said he was a right-handed batter, so it's a 5 and a 3, and that'll be a ground ball to third. Third baseman Melton, I believe, is a 4. I'm sorry, Oliver. Did I say Melton? I've been calling him Melton. It's Oliver. Melton was with the White Sox. So I got to learn these teams a little bit better. Let's see, Melton. Oliver it's one of those teamless cards as well. He is a 4 at third base, not a good third baseman. So that'll be an 18 on 4. And that's going to be, he makes the play. 3 up and 3 down. Bottom of the 6th inning. Bibby coming up to pitch, and to bat it will be Mickey Rivers, the top of the order for the Angels. Bibby checks in with catcher Billings, and he winds and deals. It's a 5 against the lefty and a 7, and now he struck him out. So check swing, and they check with the third base umpire. He went around. Denny Doyle next, and Rivers doesn't like that call. And that's a 5 again. He's a lefty again. That's a 5 and a 9 this time, and he got him. Back-to-back Ks. That's 9 Ks now for Bibby. Yikes. And it's going to be Bobby Valentine, who's 0 for 2. He grounded out, struck out and pitch. And it's a 1 and a 3 against the righty. A 1 and a 3. Oh, he gets plunked. So Bobby Valentine gets plunked. He's on at first. Here comes Frank Robinson, teamless player card. Should be able to see that. And here is the pitch. 1 on, 2 out, 1-0. Texas Rangers. Jim Bibby facing Frank Robinson. Here's the pitch. Oh, I forgot this one. And it's a 6. He's a righty, and an 8. And that's going to be, struck him out. Number 10 for Bibby. Wow. So no runs, no hits, 1 left. A hit by pitch, and we go to the top of the 7th inning. 1-0. So a good game here. Both pitchers are dealing. Here's Jeff Burrows leading off. And that's going to be a 2, and a 5 is a line drive to right, base hit. Played on a hop by the right fielder, Stanton. Next up is Tom Grieve. The pitch, it's a 6 and an 8, and that's going to be ball 4. So now we got runners on first and second and nobody out. And it looks like we're going to get a Mike Hargrove. Oh, I can bunt on this other chart. Hold on a second, because he's like a, let's see, hold on a second. He's a C bunter. Where's that other chart? So if he's a C bunter, I can use this. So he is a C bunter. Not expecting him to bunt, but we are going to bunt. So let's do it. And he lays one down, and it looks like he's going to beat it out. Great bunt by, that's going to load the bases against Ryan. And we're going to have to play the infield in against Fregosi. And here's a pitch from Ryan. We need 3 strikeouts. And that is Fregosi's a righty. That's a 4 and an 8. And that is struck him out. Big strikeout for Ryan of Jim Fregosi. And here's Joe Levito. So Fregosi was traded for Ryan at one point, right? And now they're facing each other on opposite teams. Okay, so bases loaded, 1 out, infield's in, Joe Levito. Here's a pitch from Ryan. And that is a 1 and a 5 and a ground ball to the shortstop, A. That's a whole thing here now. And runner on third holds. Other runners advance 1 base, of course, unless the runner is forced. Ground ball. Bases loaded situation. 3 instances, runner on third is out. The batter is safe. Other runners advance following the exception of the ground rule, resulting in a hit or an error. Ground ball followed by 2 plus signs regarding the result of the exception. Follow the rules to extent. Run third, now runner advanced. Runner on third holds, but he's forced. So the runner on third is out. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be a 6-2, a force play at home. And the bases remain loaded. And here's the bottom of the order, Dick Billings. So Nolan Ryan has one more hitter to get through to get out of this tight bind that he found himself in with the bases loaded and nobody out. Got one more batter. Let's see if he can do it. Here's a pitch. And that is a 3 and a 7. Struck. Oh no, ball 4. He walks in to run. Ouch. And Ryan's upset. He thought he had the call, and no. It goes to the batter. Ball 4 with that 3-7. Yikes. Base on balls. Dick Billings, who really sucks. Here's Dave Nelson now. 2-0. Rangers. Rangers actually had a good team that season. I think they finished second or third, something like that. All right. It's going to be Dave Nelson against Nolan Ryan. Here's a pitch. Nelson's a righty. It's a 4. And a 10 is a ground ball, second base, and 9. Our second baseman is a 2, so this will probably be an out. And it is. Makes the play. 4-3, and that retires the side. 1 run does come in on 2 hits. RBI for Billings. And the Rangers lead it by a score of 2-0. All right, here comes Jim Bibby in the bottom of the 7th against Mike Epstein. And here's the pitch. And that is the 6. Epstein's a lefty, a 6. And an 11 is a fly, left field X. The left fielder is Alex Johnson. I made him a 3. So left fielder 3 with a 10. And that's going to be an out. So he runs it down. F7 for the first out. Bob Oliver's next. Pitch from Bibby. And that is a 1 and a 2 and line and caught. L5. So Oliver rips it off the sweet spot, but right at the third baseman, Fregosi. And with 2 out, here's Stanton. Stanton struck out in single. Here's the pitch from Bibby. That is a 5 against the righty and an 8, and that'll be ripped to first base this time. L3. So a lot of line drives in this game. Strat-O-Matic gives you a lot of line drives. Okay. Nolan Ryan at the top of the 8th inning. So he's digi out. Pre-filled lineup sheets. Right, the numbers for the innings really, really small. All right, so it's going to be Toby Harrah against Nolan Ryan. Harrah today is 1 for 3 with a home run, a solo shot. And that is, he is a righty, so that's a 5 and a 5, and that'll be ball 4. So that's the 4th walk allowed by Ryan. And Harrah is a beast stealing, and I'm going to give him a -2, and let's see what our catcher looks like. What's the pitcher? Ryan is nothing there. The catcher could have a number. Let's see what Ellie Rodriguez is. He's a -2, so I'll give him a -4. It's an 11. Here's a row. Here's a row, and he is safe. Could be no errors on the catcher. So a stolen base for Harrah. And Alex Johnson at the plate. The runner at second. Here's a pitch from Ryan. Johnson's 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. He's a righty, we said, so it's a 6. A 6 and a 7. That's a 1-4 single, but it's a 6, so it's going to be lined and caught by the second baseman. L4. Rips it, but right at second baseman Denny Doyle. Denny Doyle, I think, didn't Denny Doyle play with the Yankees in the 1978 season, towards the end of the season? Didn't he fill in for Willie Randolph, who got injured? Had like a a quad or something like that, an issue, a hamstring pull or something. So 1 out, runner on second. Here comes Jeff Burrows. Jeff Burrows 2 for 3 actually. Here's a pitch from Ryan. That's a 6 against the righty and a 7, and that's a 1-4 single. That's line base hit. Runner will stop at third. That's a third single today for Jeff Burrows. Got runners on first and third. We have to bring that infield in again. Here's a pitch to Tom Grieve. That's a 6. He's a righty. And a 9, and that is ball 4. That'll load the bases. That is walk number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks so far. And we're going to color those in so you can really see them. All right. And it's going to be with the bases loaded. It's going to be Mike Hargrove against Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan can go. His point of weakness is the 9th. So he's still good. Here's a pitch. It feels in. And that is a 6 again. This time against the lefty. A 6 and an 8. That is ball 4, and that'll force in a run. Yikes. Bases are still loaded. That is, I think, 6 walks. He averages 6 per game. And next up will be Jim Fregosi. Infield's still in. This may be Nolan Ryan's last batter. Here's a pitch. And that is a 4 against the righty. A 4 and a 9, and that is struck him out. Big strikeout. Where Nolan Ryan. Fregosi goes down swinging in a big situation for the second consecutive time. So that is number 7, and that will be number 8. So Ryan needs one more out, and it's going to be Levito batting. Joe Levito. So it's Levito versus Ryan. Bases are loaded. It's 3-0. Rangers here in the top of the 8th inning. Big batter. And that's a 2. A 2 and a 6, and that'll be bounced to first base, picked up by first baseman Epstein, and that retires the side. So 1 run comes in on the walk and on 1 hit, and it's 3-0 Rangers. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jim Bibby against Ellie Rodriguez. Bibby's already past his point of weakness, so we're still good. All right, here goes. Ellie Rodriguez. It's a 1 and a 4, and that's bounced to short. Scooped up by Hara. That was a strike to first baseman Hargrove. They played together for a while, Hargrove and Hara did. Hara was a Yankee for 1 season, I believe. Next is Dave Chalk. And that is a 2 and a 10, and that is tap right back to the mound. Jim Bibby plays his position, feels his position, and throws out. Chalk, 2 down. And next is Mickey Rivers. Here's a pitch. And that is a 3 and a 10. That's lifted to right over his Burrows, and that retires the side. 3 up and 3 down. And we go to the top of the 9th. Ryan's going to try to go for a complete game against Billings. Billings leads off. And here goes. And that is a 1 and a 5, and bounce to second base. Easy play for second baseman Doyle. 1 down. Dave Nelson is next with a 2 and an 8, and that's line and caught by Epstein. So it's ripped off the sweet spot, but right at Epstein. 2 down, and here's Toby Hara. And that's a 1 and a 4, and that's popped up middle infield. Second baseman Doyle and Shaw come together, but it's Doyle who calls him off to make the catch. 3 up and 3 down. So it's last licks time for the Angels. Jim Bibby going for a complete game shutout of the Angels. Angels have 3 hits. They've had 4 base runners, a hit by pitch, and 3 singles. Bibby struck out 10 so far. He will face Doyle, Valentine, and Frank Robinson. Here's a pitch. 1974 Strat-O-Matic advanced using classic out of production cards. And that's a 1 and a 6. And that'll be struck him out. Number 11. Wow. What a day Bibby's having. Next is, I think there's a rule that he can only go 2 innings behind his point of weakness. But in the case of a shutout, we're going to let him go because I really don't care. But I think there's a rule that says that. And check, correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Here's Bobby Valentine. It's a 2 and a 10, and that's a drive. And that's going to be caught at the warning track by left fielder Alex Johnson. So it's a F7, 2-way. And next is Frank Robinson. And that's going to be a 6. It's off the pitcher this time against Frank Robinson, the righty, and a 7, and that will be ball 4, so he walks him. Remember, it's 3-0 here in the bottom of the 9th, and the Angels are down to their last out with a runner on first, so the tying run is on deck in Bob Oliver, who's got good power, so we need Epstein to get on base. Mike Epstein, the left-hander. Epstein today is 1 for 3. He struck out, singled, and flied out. Here's a pitch from Bibby. Bibby's trying for this shutout, complete game shutout. That is a 3 and a 10, and that's a fly ball to right. On the run is Burrows, and near the line, and Burrows comes up with it. A great catch, and that'll be the ball game, my friends. Yes, sirree. What a game. 3-hit shutout. Jim Bibby allows only 3 hits. And how many hits here? Ryan gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Ryan gives up 5 hits, but he did walk 6. So 5 hits, 6 walks. How many strikeouts? Struck out 6. He strikes out 7. Struck out 8. 8 strikeouts. Gave up 3 runs, 3 earned runs. Innings pitched. I don't see any. I don't think any errors were committed. Innings pitched. He pitched 9, and he's 1-1. He loses it. So he's 1-1. In this game, again, I explained to you what he did. He only went 1 inning in this game. He gave up 3 hits and walked 5. So I guess they pulled him early. He had control issues in game 1. He had control issues in game 2, so they pulled him early. But then he's back 3 days later in game 3, and he pitches well. He pitches much better. I think he only walks 2 in that game. So we're going to continue to play this Ryan replay of 5 games. And again, Strat-O-Matic is right on the money. I'd like to do this sort of thing with a couple other different type sets, just to see how close they are, and the dice play a role, of course. The dice play a role because sometimes the dice may give you a little bit more. Sometimes the dice may give you a little bit less. It's not going to be perfect, but you can identify patterns. So far, Strat-O-Matic is spot on, right? And we're going to compare. I'm going to look around for the other sets that I have for 74, and we'll play these same 5 games and see how Ryan does in those games with the other sets. So I think this is an interesting experiment. So remember, like and subscribe to my channel so you get more cool, fun content. And just join the Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. And that's it for now. So this is game 2 of my Ryan 5-game replay, and Ryan loses it, so he's 1-1. He pitches well, allows only 3 earned runs. He pitched a shutout in his first game. He walks 6, which is what he's supposed to do, so that's right on the money. And you see I kind of highlighted the walks in yellow, so they really stand out. He had a lot of control the first 4 innings, but then he started to lose it here in the 5th. And that's about it. So my next game, let me just tell you, my next game will be against the White Sox again. But this time that'll make my life easier because I already have that set up. It'll be at home this time. So I'm going to print that out, and I will get to it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. And check out all my other cool instructional videos, a lot of tutorial stuff, and a lot of reveal stuff of different games and different aspects of games. And I'll talk to you soon. See you on the websites.